Full name.
Okay. My name is Sylvanus Gbetey.
Okay. And how old are you, Sylvanus?
I'm 20 years.
Okay. Could you tell me a little bit about, well, how old were you when you came to Haven of Hope?
That was 12 to 13 years.
Okay. So you've been at the home for about 7 or 8 years now.
Yes, please.
Okay. Um, what what do you remember of your life before you came here?
As an academic Christian life, or what kind of life?
Like before you came here, there's a reason why you came here to the home. What was your life like in your family?
Okay. Yeah, at first I thought everything was moving on perfectly, but then I realized that things weren't moving in the direction of which my mother per se wanted, because we had a stepfather who was I've been married to my mother, and then it wasn't a marriage per se. It's just like he's living with my mom, and in our society, when a man is living with a woman, we take it as if they are married or they are husbands and wife, but that wasn't the case. So later on, things were moving on perfectly, and then the man he was a drunkard person, so he started doing all sorts of things, beating my mom, beating us, and it got to a time that the police had to come in and they arrested him. When he came back, it was a different issue altogether. So one night, when I was doing an evening prepping in our government school, so when I came back, I heard that the man wanted to kill my mom. That's what they told me. So when I heard that, I have to find out where my mom is, and I was able to allocate where my mom is. My mom was telling my dad, not my dad, my stepfather's friend, the story how my dad wanted to kill her. So when I went there, I noticed my mom was there with my stepfather's friend. So at that time, my stepfather came in and he grabbed a knife that he wanted to kill my mom at that place. So my stepfather's friend had to stop him and make sure my mom got away and ran away. So from that time, my mom ran away to a nearby town, and I also ran to my friend's house. So the next day, my mom had a friend. She's called Sister Mary. She also worked in ACM, so she reported the case to her, and the police also came in. At that time, he didn't come back at that very day because he noticed that my mom would by all means report the case to the police. So he ran away, and the next day he came around where the police caught him and he went away. They took him away. So about a month or so, they released him and he came back as well. So because of what my mom did, reporting him to the police and all those things, he made up in his mind that no matter what, he's not going to give up until he kill both my mom and I, and my siblings. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to kill everybody. So my mom had to make sure she leave the place and make sure we also leave the place. So she decided to give us out. She gave two of my sisters to a friend of hers, and she also talked to Sister Mary, and Sister Mary said if there will be a place for us, she will talk to she didn't tell us it was ECM per se. She said a home that will be able to cater for us for the moment. So at that time, I was schooling, but my mom was also sick, so I have to stop schooling and take her to hospital because my family members were not that focused on it because they were aware that my mom wasn't married to the man that she was living with, and so they don't want to interfere with their issues. So when my mom was sick, they didn't want to interfere with anything that has to do with her. So I have to stop schooling and take her to hospital and be with her for about a month. And later on, before she was a little bit okay, and Sister Mary take the rest of it, and she brought me here. That was how things were before I came.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
4 sisters.
And are they younger or older?
They are younger than me.
They're all younger, so you're the eldest.
Yes, please.
And it was your stepfather, the one who wasn't married to your mother, but he was living there. He's the one who wanted to kill you.
Yeah.
Okay. That must have been very frightening for you as a child.
Yeah.
Do you remember how you felt during that time?
Yeah. At first, I thought I could fight him, but then I noticed my strength wasn't as compared to his, and also he was holding a knife, and also some people were saying he brought a gun in the night to look for us, but we weren't there as at that time. So all those gun and knife, those things were, I couldn't stand all those things.
Do you still think about those things?
Sometimes.
And what do you think?
I think they are all parts of God's plan, so I have to live with it that way.
What happened to your stepfather? Where is he now?
I have no idea where he is now.
What about your mother?
Yeah, my mom is living in Koforidua right now.
And she's safe?
Yeah.
She wasn't bothered by him again?
Oh, when we came here, she called me and told me that still, because when they imprisoned him, I don't know what happened. About a month or 2 later, they released him and he comes back still doing the same thing. And I had a grandmom that my mom said the man poured some kind of, I don't know if it's a medicine or a poison or something, in the pot where we keep our drinking water, and so she also reported the case to the policeman. They came and investigated everything. They arrested him. About a week later, they released him, and my mom has to take my grandmom from that place as well. So we're just living anyhow, moving. We move here, and first we were living at Accra, and my mom said when she was there, she noticed some people had been watching her, so she told Sister Mary about the case. So later on, I think she said it was a midnight that a boy, not a man, but a boy came to her, asking her of her name and all those kind of things. So she was, I mean, no one knows her in that area, Akachi. It was a new area where she moved to so that she wouldn't be bothered by all those people. But when the small boy came asking for all those information, was a little bit, surprised. So when she started talking to the small boy, she noticed there was 2 boys, not boys, men looking at her from a far distance. So she was like, what is happening? And she, after talking to the guy, she also locked the door because we have a back gate at the house. Is a single room, so we have a back gate. So she moved from the back gate and went to a nearby friend. So at that time, we had a neighbor that told her that when she came back in the morning, and the neighbor told her that there was a man with some men there looking for her, but they didn't. The neighbor didn't know what the relationship between the man and my mother. And the man was able to capture the man with her phone. So when the man showed the picture to my mom was able to identify that no, this was her so-called husband. So my mom reported the case to Sister Mary, and Sister Mary had to come in. So they were able to get a place for her in Koforidua. So now that's where she's living for now.
What about your sisters?
One is, they are all living with her for now.
They're all living with her in Koforidua?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's your father?
My mom, when I ask her about my father, she'll just say, I have a mother, so that's enough. That's what she'll say. So that's what she'll tell me, without mentioning anyone's name or.
So you don't know him?
No.
So you came here. Tell me about your experience coming here to Haven of Hope. What was that like for you?
When I came here, this was a new environment altogether. I mean, when I was there, even seeing the cows, it would be a big surprise to see a car and all those kind of things. So when I came here, I was like, wow, the compound is big, the building they are nice. I mean, they are like mansion and all those kind of things. So, and there were many people here, and they were schooling as well. So schooling was something I wanted to do. So when I saw the school building and the school uniforms and all those things, I was like, wow, this would be a great place for me to be. Yeah.
So you were about 12?
Yes, please.
And you started at the school, at the academy, Haven of Hope?
Yeah, I started at class 4, yeah. Class 4. That was grade 4.
Okay, right. Class 4.
Yes, please.
And tell me about the school.
Okay. Personally, I can't say I'm very good, but that's what people say. I'm very good. So when we came here, I was in class 3 at my previous school when I came here. When I came here, we were tested and they promoted me to Basic 4. So at the final year in Basic 4, I did very well and they promoted me to Basic 5. But instead of me going to Basic 6, I didn't go to Basic 6 because I did well in that year as well. So they jumped me to GHS 1 instead of Basic 6. So I didn't go to Basic 6. I went to GHS 1. And from that on, we completed GHS and I had admission to Labone Senior High School to offer general arts. Yeah. So,
and you completed your senior high school?
Yeah, I completed senior high school and I had admission in Legon as well to offer computer science.
And now you're preparing for university?
Yes, please.
Tell me how you feel about the opportunity that you have had to get a good education and now even have the ability to go on to university. Just talk about that, especially considering where you were before with your family and those difficulties, and now you have this opportunity to go to university.
Yeah, and at first I thought, because basically in our community, when you are able to complete GHS, you have done a great job, and I think that's all you have to do. So I was thinking of, okay, maybe I can also finish GHS and I'll be like, oh wow, at least I've done something. But when I came here, I noticed that no, it's not all about finishing GHS and that's all you are the big boss, but you are supposed to get at least some knowledge and skills so that when you are done with your school, you can be able to fit into a particular job and able to help people as well, because I've been helped to come here. And also, and that's one of the plans that I am planning to do, because I have been helped, and by so doing, and I'm also planning to help people. At first, I was thinking of becoming a criminal detective because of my mom case, and so that I could help other people. But when I get there, I know that Ghana Education, the criminal investigation department, they were not that. The government doesn't focus on them. You can end up. That's what I asked a police officer, and he told me that when you don't take time, unless you know someone, or you end up becoming a traffic director and all those kind of things. So I noticed maybe that couldn't help. So I was thinking of if I can become a computer, because I also like computer science, computer aspect of it. So I was thinking if I can also maybe do what I like, that's computing, I can get some funds and also help other people with that kind of thing. And so that's what I was thinking of.
Tell me about your spiritual growth as you come here. I don't know if you were a Christian when you came to Haven of Hope, or what's going on in your life and your heart now, but maybe you can tell me about that.
Okay. When I was at my place, I mean, the place I came here before this place, we go to church, but it's just like going to church, sing and come back. That is how there's nothing like Christianity. It's just like church going. You have to go to church, when you close, you come back, then you go to farm. So I didn't know anything like Bible, Jesus. I don't know anything. You just have to go to the church and you sing praises and you come back. That's what we were enjoying. But when I came here, I noticed it wasn't all about going to church, sing praises and then come back. But there is a one person that if you don't accept, that means all those praises are worthless. So I had to find out who that person is, and through that the mothers were helping me with, because I didn't know any of the Bible quotations. I wasn't reading the Bible. I don't even know what the Bible was. So I had to join the morning devotion, and through that I was able to learn how to pray, and through that I was able to accept Jesus Christ, knowing him, how he died for me, and because I wouldn't want his blood to be in vain, because he sacrificed his life for me so that through him I will be saved. So I was able to go through that, and now he's doing wonderful in my life, because without him I don't think I would be here by now. I don't think I'll be here by now.
So a lot of people tell me that you're a very good student.
Okay.
Why?
And that is why I told you, that's what people say, that I'm very good.
Why do they say that?
Okay. Basically, I can't really tell, but then I know when Christ is in you, all that people will say is the doing of Christ. So I think that's what they are saying, but I don't really can't tell.
You have some sponsors, I think.
Yes, please.
Is there anything you'd like to say to them?
A lot. Sometimes I think I've talked to you about how sponsors pick us and sponsors. I think I asked you those questions, and you said you display our pictures, and whoever wants this kid and that kid, they pick. So sometimes I was wondering how come they were able to pick me, and then they are willing to sponsor me through all my education and my life. So sometimes I wonder, and I was like, maybe that's also the plans of God. And someone told me that sometimes God wouldn't come face to face to help you with what you need. God wouldn't come from heaven to give you food. That Sylvanus, this mean God, I'm giving you food to you so that you won't go hungry. So sometimes God works through some people so that you will be saved. And